Hello again. Oh God, this just a sip of tea does wonders for me. You know, this tea has a story. That's why it makes me feel so good. First of all, hope you're all doing well and you had a good Sunday. It's Sunday evening. I'm still in my leisure weekend, hence comfortable clothing. Before I share with you what I want to share with you tonight, let me tell you a little bit of a story about the tea that you can see me drink it. And the expression that you see, the expression of enjoyment that you see, is truly genuine. I really love tea. Not just because it tastes good to me or makes me feel good and everything also has a psychological reason to make you feel what you feel. Almost everything. Because we, as we are made out of feelings and body, mind and body. And each get affected or are affected by different things that surround us, whether what we eat, drink, smell, or what we see, feel, emotions, and so on and so forth. And tea for me has a certain psychological effect on top of its wonderful physical expression that it leaves on me. You see, when I was growing up, I loved horses. I still do. I think horses are part of my family. If I had longer ears, I wouldn't mind being called a horse. I love horses. When I see them, I get happy. It's like I saw a relative of mine. I know, it's funny. But I had this affinity, it's amazing emotions toward horses ever since I was a kid. They were filled with wonder and positiveness, happiness, unity, capability, power, grace, honor. Lots of things about it that I liked it, but I didn't know why. But I was a kid, but I loved it. So eventually, as I grew up, like whenever I wanted to pray or if I wanted to wish for something, I would also wish I want 7 horses. And those days, we were watching lots of Western movies, and the Western movies had found its way, its popularity in where I was born and raised. And so we were watching lots of that. And as any little boy, we were imitating the Western movies and so on. So, guns and pistols were just the big thing. So I would pray for 7 guns and 7 horses. I don't know why 7, and I don't know why guns. I think because guns and horses were always been together in those movies, I guess. But I never attributed my love for horses to the movies because it was something totally different. Because I loved horses from very, very childhood. I had never even seen any Western movies, Western style movies, like the horses and the gun and all that. So anyhow, eventually, when I got a little older, at age, I think 12, 11 or 12, I started riding horses in some club that my father was a member of, and they had tennis courts, golf, and horses built, good stable and training facilities and so on. So I did some there, and then eventually I got the privilege of becoming one of the students of Colonel Nishati. Colonel Nishati was an amazing man, an amazing role model, highly motivated, highly efficient, excellent leader with highest level of honor and morals. And those were very important to him, that the students were also would be of the right kind of people, meaning behaving properly, respect, honor, honesty, and so on and so forth. Colonel Nishati was like my father. There was only one man that I ever called like my father, because I loved my father. And I would not say this guy is like my father. It's only one man that I felt he was like my father. And he knew my father. They were friends too. So it would just make it very easy for me to follow him, to learn from him, his manners and everything else. May both rest in peace, as my father and Colonel both have passed. And I miss them all every day. However, I learned a lot from both of them. Now, coming back to the story, I was fortunate enough to become one of the Colonel Nishati's students, who was the top instructor, master instructor for equestrian training, show jumping, and working with horses, training horses, and so on. Very knowledgeable man. He was one of the graduates of, beside his own training in home country, he was sent to Saumur, France, where he was the center for military equestrian and dressage and so on. And he was one of the top students there as well. So I was one of the students, and every time that we were training, there were like 20, 30 students in the same line and the same time, and all carefully designed how the training would go, and it was always a success with him. And every time we finished training, after, training with horses, whether we were jumping that day or not, whoever did well, that he was satisfied, and he felt that we did our best and trained and worked with the horse well, without being violent, without being angry, without being and understanding and communicating with the horse, without using spurs or whips. And it was all about working with the horse, not abusing the horse. So he was very methodical about that. And if he was satisfied with our work, since the school was having a military affiliation, he would ask the attendees there, which were mostly of the military rank and were taking care of the horses and so on, he would ask them to bring tea, and he would ask them to bring tea for that particular student in general, but specifically he would name the person that he wanted the helpers to bring tea to that student, while he would want everybody to have tea, but he would mention like a certain person. For example, he would say, bring some tea for Mr. Mehran. Even though we were kids, he would call us Mr. Mehran. So he was an honorable man all throughout. So tea for me was a sign of my teacher being satisfied with me, a sign of success, a sign of having had a good job, having done a good job, and a feeling of accomplishment. Therefore, tranquility, happiness, strength, honor, and satisfactory, both from me and from the horse and from my teacher, most important. So tea has this feeling of giving me the happiness of contentment, satisfaction, accomplishment, and that is its psychological effect on me. And so whether I drink it or not, I always love to have a tea beside me. I may not even touch it, but the fact that it's there makes me feel something. So that's why you can see me have this tea always with me. Now, so I won't be too long tonight, just a few minutes to talk about, continue about this. If you remember at the beginning, we talked about everything has a psychological effect. And some of the things that has psychological effect on us are also our girlfriends. In this case, your girlfriends, because I'm mostly interested about your ability to handle your emotional and relationship problems when you go through them. And that's the intention of this whole thing. I want you to have a balanced day, balanced mentality, and attend to your duties until you will see how things change in your life as days go by, rather than being stuck in a mud and thinking that because you're going through some hardship, you left your girlfriend left you or didn't work out, now it's a disaster. I want you to understand the reasons that you feel the way you do, and it's not all because what you think that, oh, she was so wonderful and I'm really now devastated because I don't have something that was really, 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 really great. I want you to know there are many, many reasons why you feel the way you do, and it's not because she was really, 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 really great. It's because of the psychological effects that we just talked about. Everything has psychological effects, plus the physical effects. The psychological effect of feeling the way you do when you have broken up with your girlfriend is the fact that we are all programmed to respond to imagery, to respond to what the society considers an image to be a success, an accomplishment. And that image is what we see in all the movies and television programs and pictures and whatever that is praised on, and the red carpet Oscar productions and whatnot. Nice car, nice dress, pretty girl. This is the image of success. This is what has been pumped into our heads ever since childhood. Well, we're boys and we all love women, and that's beside the point. It has gone further. We have been brainwashed to think that if we don't have a girlfriend, or a pretty girlfriend, or a girlfriend in general, we are not as worthy as we would be if we have them. In other words, it has become part of our worthiness, an image that we are following, to fill that image and bring it into our life, because we've been brainwashed, we've been programmed to feel that we are not whole and complete and perfect and able and capable and balanced if we don't have a girlfriend for a period of time or a long time or whatever, until we find the right girl. Therefore, the image that we have in our mind, suddenly when the girlfriend leaves or we leave them or something doesn't work out, the image is not as the image that it was programmed into our head. There's a discrepancy between where we are, how the reality of our image is, and compared to the image that we're supposed to have in order to be called happy. So we are not just missing her looks or the intimacy and what we are used to, we're also missing that what we used to be part of the image that the society had expected us to produce. A man with a pretty girlfriend. A man with a girlfriend. That's why you are feeling sad, because that particular psychological fulfillment, which is based on the program that you've been shoved into your head ever since childhood, to have this, to have that, and also have a girlfriend or have a pretty girlfriend, we don't have that image. That's why we're feeling like shit sometimes. But lo and behold, it really has nothing to do how capable you are, whether you have a girlfriend or not. You can see that, just think about it. How many things you do that is for the purpose of finding a girlfriend, or for the purpose of having your girlfriend feel that you're, the top dog. And you do crazy things about it because you want to keep them, not because they're exactly what you wanted to do and you have a very bonding relationship and mental connection and so on. It's because that's what you think would make you feel perfect, because that's what the society has put in your head. So you want to keep that image. So you're doing anything to make her feel you're the best. Best In whose mind? In her mind? Why should you feel or try to be the best in her mind? You should try to be the best that you think you should be, through the ways that you think it's worthwhile to accomplish, to do, to believe, to train, to learn. Now that's how you become the best in what you think, the philosophy that you like to follow. Not to think that you are the best if a certain girl thinks you're the best. Well, what is that certain girl's qualification to be able to hand out the plaque, the trophy of the best? What? You had a good time in bed? That makes you best because she was very... What? Maybe she wasn't good enough, so you couldn't really be that great. Why don't you think that way? And another girl would have probably loved the way you are in bed. So that is the intimacy part that you put so much effort into to make her feel you're the best, because it's so important for you what she thinks of you. I'm not saying don't do your best and don't please your woman. That's a different story. We're talking about how far should it be important to you what she thinks of you. And then we go one step further now, out of the bedroom. You go and do some, I don't know, buy best looking car in your mind, that she would be impressed. You're not really thinking that, do I need this car? Do I need it to be this expensive? Do I need it to be like this? Or am I buying it so I can kind of comply with the society's expectations and give her stuff so she will stay with me and be loyal to me, or be, honorable to me, and will not be swayed with, what other people have. And so, well, if she's being swayed with what other people have, that means she's weak. She's not the type that you want to invest on your time, your life. So why should you now change yourself and run around try to satisfy her shortcomings and her lack of manner and honor? So, and find out what other things you do. You wear the way she likes, whether you are into, I don't know, earrings, rings here, there, nose, whatever, or you're not. If you're not, but if she is, you may go and get it because you're weak-minded. If you are into it and she's not, well, then you may just take it out. I don't know. I'm just trying to say, I'm not trying to say what's good or bad. I have my own style or beliefs, what works for me or what not. No, I don't like things in my nose or ears, whatever, but some people do, and that's fine for them. But what I'm trying to make the point is that you change almost everything about yourself just so that you will be accepted by a girl who herself really has no qualifications to become your role model. So why is that then? It's because of the image that you want to keep her. So the society will see you with a woman, so you will feel you are part of the image that was painted for you ever since childhood. So you will feel you are more valuable, worthy. Well, you should get this value and worthiness through your training in life, through your education in university or college, or through your high school, wherever you are, through your job and become as good as you can be. It shouldn't be through these sort of shortcuts and momentary and short-term imagery or success feelings that you may get. These are all not real, because the real qualification is when you train yourself well, study well, research, learn what you want to learn, be good at your job, and learn things from masters that are all on YouTube and so on. Professor Chomsky for your political and economic needs. There's many masters in this world. You can go to and find about Buddhism and how they talk about and teach. Their teachings are, you can go and learn about meditation, you can go learn about science and inventions, you can go listen to the lectures that the scientists and herbalists, medical doctors of medicine, or any other researcher. There are many, many topics in the world, and that's how you become real valuable and add to your worth. And then you wouldn't have to run around try to please somebody, your friends or your girlfriend, to be counted as someone who is worthy. Then you become a slave. It is wonderful to be nice and kind and accommodating and providing for your mate, if it's marriage or something serious relationship. But to follow on just to satisfy them and to think their satisfaction would end up making you the person that you're supposed to be per the society's request, that's kind of silly, because you end up doing stupid things. You end up even getting into sports that you go too extreme, which could be risky to your body, but you think, well, it may look good in her mind and it could keep her thinking that you're the best. But you being the best shouldn't have anything to do with how big you are and how great, if a soccer player you are, a basketball or a football player, or weight trainer or power lifter or whatever it is. You're supposed to be becoming important by a balance between mind and body, and training yourself in the fields that are available to you to learn and educate and advance in. So again, we were talking about the fact that you are hurting because you don't have that image that was shoved into your head from childhood that you're supposed to have a woman, a pretty woman, to be whole, full. Well, that's wonderful, but we need to have standards and wait and find the one who deserves to be on your side. And if she's not, you're still the same person, you're still as great, you still have all the facilities available to you to learn, to have know-how, to educate yourself and become bigger and better and better. And you don't have to go through extreme adventures just to prove that your worthiness, because then are you doing it for your own benefit and fitness benefit, or are you doing it for the imagery and the shortcomings of your mind that thinks that you got to be doing and impressing so many people, including your girlfriend or other people around you, to be counted as important? Importance comes from within and how you train your mind and your body, not through doing extreme stuff, because then it has its own risk and so forth. And why? There's so many other things you want to do in this world and accomplish, and this momentary feeling of that you want to be great and have a shortcut to the greatness would end up making you things that really is neither useful nor going to add a real value to. So on that note, wish you have a wonderful evening, and I went on and talked a lot again, and hope you have a wonderful evening or day wherever you are, and we'll talk to you soon. Enjoy.